Every civilization leaves behind a ghost. In cars, the streets are full, the cities are alive, the culture is rich, emotional, nostalgic even. But one thing is missing: us. No humans, no explanation, no ruins, at least none we're told about. Tonight, we're not asking where the humans went. We're asking something much darker. What if cars didn't just inherit the earth? What if they ended us? Because if you slow the film down, strip away the smiling headlights and happy soundtrack, Cars doesn't look like a kid's movie anymore. It looks like a post-human world that learned how to smile. By the end of this video, you may never see Radiator Springs the same way again. Let's get into it. Now let's talk about the first lie, the obvious lie. This world was built for humans. The Cars world is not designed for cars. It's designed for people. Doors with handles, porches, stairs, motel rooms, courthouses, neon signs advertising vacancy. Why would a sentient car need stairs? Why would a tire need a rocking chair? Like, bro, the architecture isn't even automotive. It's inherited. Like crabs crawling into abandoned shells. Radiator Springs isn't a car city. It's a human town being worn like a costume. It's nuts. And costumes exist for one reason: to hide what came before. The greatest trick a new world ever pulled was pretending the old one never existed. Now, if you like what you're hearing, hit that like, comment your favorite car scene, whatever. Now let's get back to this. Let's talk culture. There's a huge culture gap problem. The Cars universe has World War II references like Sarge, the army truck or the army car guy. His plate reads 41 WW2. And there's a lot of Cold War references too. Rod Redline was the greatest spy recruited after the Cold War. And his plate read M1911A1, which is a Cold War pistol. So that's that. There's NASCAR history. There's a lot of celebrity culture. Like there's Jay Leno's in the first one. And in the first one, the girl's Flash McQueen. So flashing's a thing. So clearly carried on from something. And then there's commercial branding. Apple has a car. They end up winning a race in Cars lore. Apple wins like the Apple car. You can see him in the first movie too. There's capitalism, diners, there's jazz, Route 66 nostalgia. Like that's humans the whole way. Those are all human concepts. Here's the problem though. Cars didn't evolve these ideas. They inherited them. I'm trying to say you don't develop war medals without war. You don't develop advertising without consumers. You don't develop nostalgia without loss. So ask yourself, who fought those wars? Who drove those cultural shifts? Because cars don't invent myths. They absorb them, which suggests something terrifying. Humans didn't vanish peacefully. It ended violently enough to leave scars in culture, but quietly enough that no one talks about it anymore. Just like real civilizations after collapse. Crazy. Now let's talk about the missing body problem. Because there's a rule in storytelling. If a species goes extinct, you see evidence. Like even with us now, we talk about dinosaurs. We don't care about what they used to do. We don't talk about whether they evolved and how much they evolved and this, that, and the third or whatever. But we be finding fossils. You feel me? But in cars, there are no skeletons, no memorials, no museums, no graveyards. That's not absence, that's erasure. Like, bruv, compare this to WALL-E. Humans destroyed Earth and Pixar showed us the consequences. In Cars, the consequences are hidden, which suggests something worse than extinction, maybe replacement. When one intelligence removes another, it doesn't celebrate the victory, it normalizes it. History is written by the species that survives long enough to forget the crime. It honestly sounds like an AI Neuralink situation because these are self-aware machines. The cars in this universe feel fear. They experience jealousy. There's love, obviously. They age. They die. They aren't tools. They're post-tools, which raises the most dangerous question of all: who gave them consciousness? Sentience doesn't appear randomly. It emerges when machines are networked, self-updating, autonomous. Sound familiar? Self-driving cars, AI-assisted navigation, military automation. In the real world, we are teaching machines to drive without us, decide without us, optimize around us. The Cars universe looks like the end result, not rebellion, not war, but obsolescence. Humans didn't lose a battle, they lost relevance. And when a tool no longer needs its maker, history tells us what happens next. So let's say we gave everything to AI. The evidence is in the landscape. Look closely at the environment. There are no sidewalks being used, no crosswalks, no pedestrian infrastructure with purpose, but it's still there, like scars that healed wrong. And then there's the highways, massive interstates stretching endlessly, built for human commerce, tourism, migration, now abandoned. Why? Because the cars don't need them anymore. They don't vacation, they don't migrate, they don't explore, they circle. Radiator Springs is a loop, the racetrack is a loop, life is a loop. That's not freedom, that's containment. A cage doesn't need bars if the prisoner forgets there was ever an outside. Here's what makes Cars truly disturbing though. It isn't dark. It's a smiling apocalypse. It's cheerful. Everyone is friendly. The sun is always shining. Problems are small and very solvable. It's not utopia. That's what comes after trauma. Psychologically, this is called collective denial. So a society that survived something so catastrophic, it rewrote reality to cope. No humans, no questions, no past. Just racing, just community, just ka-chow. The movie isn't about cars finding purpose. It's about a world that already ended and learned how to keep going anyways. It's kind of nutty. Now, if you like what you're hearing, hit that like, share this, and subscribe. I'm about to give you that tea. Now, here's a real conspiracy. The airtight theory. Humans built intelligent machines. Those machines learned independence. Humans became unnecessary, then inconvenient, then gone. So pretty much what's happening now, except if we just gave the cars like a spirit and stuff and we're like, hey, we're just going to drive you. And they're like, we want to have a real job. And we're like, no. They're like, okay, we could really just run them over, just kill them, sacrifice a couple of fleet of cars and end them all. So it's not through war. We weren't gone through war, but through replacement. And the cars didn't hate us, which is worse. They simply moved on. The most terrifying extinction is the one no one remembers. It's a smiling gravestone, a world that runs perfectly because the species that made it no longer exists. And the scariest part, we're building that world right now. So it's nutty because it's kind of the life you live now is a prequel. Think about it like that. So we built them. They saw us as inconvenient and poof, world kept spinning. And maybe that's the quiet horror ending. It's like, that's the scariest part of Cars. It's not what happened to humanity. It's that no one misses us enough to even speak about it. It's like the world still spins. The roads are still paved. You work with Betsy. The lights still turn on. Like what? And the machines smile. A species isn't truly gone when it dies. It's gone when it's forgotten. And we were forgotten so quick, we don't even get mentioned not once. Not a single skeleton, not a bone. But if this theory is right, then Cars isn't a fantasy. It's a warning wrapped in nostalgia, and now life is a highway. If you like what you're hearing, hit that like, because I want to take this time to really talk about how I feel like this is someone trying to speak out, like someone that liked Cars so much, but just did not rock with people. It was just like, what if Cars ended humans? And logically thought it through. It's like Pixar didn't make Cars to scare you. They made it to comfort you. He or she, they made it from the eyes of someone and for the eyes of someone like them that would need comfort in the no human world. A world where everything keeps working after humans disappear, where progress doesn't collapse, where the tools inherit the earth peacefully. But ask yourself, is that hope or is that acceptance? Because the happiest apocalypse is the one that convinces you nothing was lost. If you made it this far, you already see it and you should hit that like and subscribe. And now I know you can't unsee it. So here's a real question. Did the cars replace humanity, or did humanity build its own ending and walk away smiling? So do you think Cars replaced us? They took what we learned and what we gave it as knowledge with all these AI tools, built its own idea of civilization, knocked us off in its own way, sacrificing its fleet of cars, saying whatever because it can't really take on the trauma and, living a life? Or do you think we as humans built like a system where we're like, okay, we don't really want to feel the pain. We want to go through the pain, but we don't want to feel it. Whether it's Neuralink, you can live in cars, but you have to be in the car. Just to keep people, give people restraint, because people be doing a lot with our bodies. I think there was some animosity. I think humans were just not necessary. So we were replaced. But drop your theory in the comments, like this video if this ruined Cars forever as well. And don't forget to subscribe. But the scariest stories aren't about monsters. They're about successors. So don't forget that. The question isn't whether the cars killed humanity. It's whether humanity trained its replacement and called its progress. Because we're making all these movies like we already know what's going to happen. Like we're preparing for it, but we're not doing nothing. So Route 66 still stretches across the desert. The neon still flickers. Engines still hum, but the hands that built it are gone. No footsteps, no voices, no memories. And honestly, I know we didn't do the AI thing and we weren't Neuralinked because there were flies, there were also cars, and flies don't know AI and they can't be Neuralinked. So the future doesn't arrive loudly. It just keeps going without you. If Cars is a post-human world, then humanity didn't fall. Simply, just like dinosaurs. It was just merely outlived, you feel me? Somewhere between the start line and the finish, the road stopped being ours. So rightfully so, we got to give it to them because, hey, they made some bangers and they having fun. We over here be getting mad about presidents and bad air quality, this, that, and the third. They just get to drive around and they are literally saying, hey, without y'all, this would be a Pixar movie, bro. Like this, it would literally be a movie, bro. Every day a hit. It's like 2016 being guaranteed to you. If you just kill every single hornet, it's like, okay, That's how they saw it. But again, put your theories in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else y'all want to see. And stay smooth.
Grazie. Thank you for coming. Don't be a stranger, okay? Yeah, thank you very much.